because I got the quote for the painters first. And then when I got the quote for the granite, it was like, dang, I think that's a lot of money for the paint. But, you know, I've just reconciled with it and accepted it because I know it's going to get done right. They have insurance, so if one of their workers get hurt, they're not going to be suing my homeowner's insurance. And if they damage something of mine, they're going to pay for it because they have insurance for that. And if they don't do a good job or something messes up, they're going to redo it. They're not going to leave me unsatisfied. Like I don't have to pay them until the job is done. And I say, okay, I'm satisfied, and then I pay them. I think they want $800 up front for all of that. So, um,
Yeah, like I worked with the guy who did like painting and restorations and stuff like that, and he did wallpaper. I think wallpaper was his main thing, but he
mhm,
also does painting.
mhm,
And he would call me when I wasn't working to come help him on this place way out. It was probably like an hour, 45 minutes away from where I live, and he would have me come out there and help him. And I don't think he told me what he charged or whatnot, but I think he was like, he charges a decent amount, but he was like, for him, because that's not like a side job for him. That's like his main thing.
yeah,
And he was
yeah,
like, for him, the reason that he charges that is because I don't know how we got on this topic. But he was like, the reason that he charges what he charges is because not only are you're paying for like his 50 years of experience, doing what he does. So
mhm,
you're getting experience. Then he was like, like you were saying, those dudes have insurance. He was
mhm,
like, you're paying for, you're kind of paying also for like the insurance coverage or whatnot if something goes wrong.
right,
Because he has to continuously pay that, so that goes into the consideration when like giving people
exactly.
and kind of stuff. So it's like I kind of get that.
And it's a
Those are
lot
the
of
two things.
work.
Those are the two things I remember off the top of my head. It's like you're paying
Mhm,
for his experience, you're paying for the labor, and for the fact that he's insured and licensed and bonded or whatever. You know what I
yep,
mean?
yep,
To whereas like if you want to pay less, you can go with somebody who's not insured and only has 2, 3 years of experience. And take your chances.
yeah.
Unless you're paying for like like you said, you're paying for professionalism. And I get that.
And also, I
When
looked,
they explain it good, that makes sense.
yeah, and I looked him up on the Better Business Bureau, and he has an A+ rating. He has no complaints. Um, and it's like, I mean, he told me I'm not the cheapest, but I am one of the best. Like, I pay my guys good because they're good at what they do, and they do a professional job. And I want that. I want a professional job. So,
Right.
you know,
Listen, the only thing I would want to know is like, does he offer anything in the way of like, um, if like a year or two down the road you see like the paint starting to chip or whatnot, will he come up and like send a guy out there like touch it up or something like that for like $40 or $100 or something like that? Like if the paint was chipping in like a couple of areas or something like that,
I'm
or
not
like just good customer service.
I'm not sure, but he did say the paint that they use has a 5-year warranty. So I think that nothing should be happening with that paint for 5 years. And I
Yeah,
think
but
he
like I'm
said
saying, like if something was to happen, would he
it,
come out and be like, oh yeah, we can touch that up for you?
that's a
And then like
good,
the guy I was telling you about who I would go out and help, that's what he did. So
yeah.
basically, the way he would do it, and like this is his business, so this isn't like an industry standard or something like that. But it was something that I was like, wow, that's like a good business practice. Like I could see me going with you because you offer something like that. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Because basically, he was like, whatever the paint warranty is on paint,
Yeah.
also like backs that. So it's like if the warranty on the paint says it should last 5 years, then as long as I'm in business, I'm gonna charge like $45.
Right, right. And that's to cover like gas and transportation. I can't remember if he said that or not, because he did say and it might have been 10 years. I think now that I'm thinking about it, 5 years don't sound like very long. Um, but anyway, he mentioned that this paint that he uses, I think it's Sherwin Williams, and they have a good reputation, and if anything goes wrong with the paint, they cover that. And so I don't know if that means, I don't remember if he said, we stand by that and we're going to come back. But that's a good question, and I will be asking him that.
Yeah, because that's just something. Because like I said, the dude I was working with, like he's not even local to my area. He lives in freaking Delaware, but he'll still be like, okay,
Bless
I'll
you.
come out there. I'll come out there next week and do the touch ups and stuff real quick. Like he lives in Delaware. That's like 4 hours away from my area.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I'm talking to Jack right now. Heck yeah, I know, right? And plus it's Friday. Yeah. I'm playing. Oh, John just got home. He got home early because he didn't take lunch yesterday or something. Yeah. So yeah, so he's home already. Surprise! I wasn't even looking at the thing, so when I heard you, I didn't even realize that you were home early. Mhm. Yeah. Usually that's not a day off unless somebody takes it on purpose. But yeah. Yeah, it's not a holiday. It's a it's a religious thing, but it's not like a holiday.
Yeah, we don't do Thanksgiving usually.
No. Mm-mm.
But yeah, like honestly, like I said, I believe in that adage. Like I said, you get what you pay for. Like and I would still give that he's gonna get the cheap. I always try to I always try to do middle of the road.
Mhm.
Or if I'm buying something, especially when I'm buying something that I want to last, I'll try to look for replacement stuff. Unless it's something to where it's like I wanted to, I want the best quality of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But most of the time, I usually try to buy right in the middle or a little bit above the middle, and not buy like because everything has like a basic price point, a median, and then there's like a high end expensive version. Like I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure there's somewhere you can buy like $200 underwear if you want.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I think it depends on what it is because underwear, I'm like, I just buy like I'll throw this out there because it's the only brand that comes to my head right now. But like Fruit of the Loom, hey, if it wears out in 6 months or a year or whatever, you just buy more because they're cheap. And they're underwear. Nobody sees them. It's not like, but but yeah, if it comes to, like I said, with the granite, right? They showed us all kinds of granite, and I also looked up quartz, and quartz is more expensive than granite, even though it's man-made and not a natural stone. I mean, it has natural stone in it, but it also has epoxy in it. So, um, but anyway, quartz was more expensive by quite a bit. So I was like, okay, well, let's just show me the granite. Yeah, and there's 3 levels of granite, and all of them are good granite, right? It's like they're all as durable. They're all. What the difference is the rarity and how hard it is to get. Like the third level granite probably comes from like Greece or something, somewhere far away that's hard to get. And then the lower level granite is probably local, and then the mid level is in between that. And I looked at all the lower level first because I thought, okay, we don't live in a mansion where we need the highest, most expensive, rare granite, right? All of it is going to perform the same. All of it is just as durable. So let's look at the cheapest stuff. And that's what I did. But I also looked at the others too. And honestly, the cheap stuff it didn't have any pattern in it. It was just all like, it just looked like little. I don't even know how to explain it, but there was no movement in it, and so I ended up going with the tier 2 granite, the level 2 granite. which is, in between. And I was kind of annoyed with myself for doing that, but it was just so much prettier. And I thought it's going to be on there forever, right? Because at least it's my lifetime anyway. So, but yeah, I think it depends on what you're wanting to buy. Sometimes I am not like buy the most expensive thing because that's the best kind of girl. Um, hmm yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah. And you have to get the good one because. Mhm. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you take everything into consideration before making that choice. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. And then the plumber not calling me. We were talking that we got on this subject because of stress. For the no, I did not. And that's one thing that made me question. Mhm. Yeah. And I normally do, but what I did was I called Certa Pro Painters, which is a company that, yeah, and they told me there's going to be three. No, they didn't even send those dudes out. They said three companies in your area. They weren't even in our area. They were like, three companies in your area are going to give you a call so that they can come out and give you quotes. But only one company did, and that was this one, Color World. And he did tell me we're not the cheapest. And he goes, and if you do get other quotes, he said talk to me first because I'll tell you, like what the differences is, why they're cheaper on that or this or whatever. But I didn't do it, and I normally do, and I think that's why when the realization, yes, I was thinking, God, I didn't even get other quotes. How stupid of me! Why didn't I do that? But it's whatever. I do feel comfortable with him. When I call him, he calls me right back. He answers all my questions. He's very professional. He. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Well, I already signed the contract. Yeah. Now, okay, now that I have a plumber, because that was another thing that was stressing me out. That's what started this whole conversation. That I'm tired all the time because I feel stressed. Um, my plumber wasn't calling me, and I'm like, well, shit. Why? What is happening? And so, now I feel a little bit better because I found a new guy today, and I just hope he seems like a good guy because um, I told him what I needed him for, which was to reconnect all the plumbing under the sink into a new sink because I was getting granite and a new sink. And he said, so it's an undermount sink, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, okay, well, we can't do anything with that for at least 6 hours because that epoxy glue that they put the sink on with, that needs to cure. So, so see right there, that tells me he knows what he's talking about because I already knew that because the granite people told me that. So that gives me confidence that he's going to do a good job. So he's coming out the day after. So Monday they come to do the sink and the granite, and then Tuesday the plumber will come to hook up the sink.
Painters come.
Next week, Monday. Not this coming Monday, but the Monday after.
How come they don't paint before you put the granite because of cost?
Um, you know, he said ideally I don't want any countertops on there, and I'm like, oh, what am I supposed to do? Like they come and take the counters and then put the new ones in the same day. It's not like I'm going to be several days without countertops, you know. And I'm not going to remove them just so he can come and paint. And so he said if I had my brothers, then I would want to paint after the new countertops are in because then I know, you know, what, do you have a backsplash? Do you not? Is it, you know, what's going to be down here? I'm not going to, you know. So I said, okay. And that's why I did the granite first. I actually called the painters first and wanted that done first because I didn't want them to get paint on my new granite. But he said that it's better to have the new countertops in first before I come and paint. So I'm hoping that's true, and I know they do this all the time, but I'm like, I hope they don't drop a tool on my new countertops and chip it, or you know what I mean? Like this shit runs through my mind because I'm a freaking psycho as far as I got OCD and I like everything perfect, and you know, so I don't know. That's what kind of stress I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
I bring a lot of it on myself, I know, because I'm sure when people hire a painter who already has granite countertops, I don't think they're worrying about if they're gonna crack their granite or, you know, chip their granite. And if they do, they have insurance. They'll have to replace it. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's better than what my mom would do that too, where she'll go to like multiple people and get but
hmm
for some reason she has this like I don't know why she does this, but like I know that racism is still a thing, but I don't really pay attention to it, especially if it's not happening. Like I won't say that because like I see stuff happening, like that's messed up, but I don't let it influence the way I walk through life in terms of how I deal with other people and how I deal with everyday situations. Like if I'm the only black guy, it's like, oh, I'm not gonna try to be in the house and like that. I'm gonna be mad at that. But also, I'm not letting like race stuff influence, like I said, how I move through my day to day. In
hmm
terms of like race politics, I guess I would say. My mom hired a guy to remodel her basement,
hmm
and she she got some people I don't know, but basically she was saying that she gave this guy the job because she likes to support black businesses or black guys trying to do something for themselves or whatnot.
hmm
And so she went with him, and it seemed like I guess he made a good impression on her. He's a professional and whatnot, at the time.
hmm
Um, but basically what ended up happening was he kept wanting to maximize his profit, I guess. Um,
Yep.
so he kept like cheating and stuff, saying, "Hey, well, instead of doing this, how about we do this?" And my mom was like reluctantly agreeing to it, and basically like going back on what she actually wanted in some cases. You know what I mean? And in the end, it was like he was doing a bad job and blah blah blah. And it wasn't that she wanted to cheat his business. She was on that whole, oh, I want to give black people blah blah blah. I'm like, you see what happened? That's why you
hmm
should give the job to the person who's qualified.
That's
Not
most
that
awful.
not this guy who's just trying to make money.
Yeah.
So that stupid crap like that. So it's like where they're like oh, they're passing the bill now, so whereas that 40% of a workforce needs to be women. It's like they shouldn't pass that bill because then you're gonna get a bunch of women in the workforce. So it's like you're passing over people who are actually qualified to do the job.
I don't think that's the case. That's not the case. It's like a qualified woman and a qualified man can go and apply for the same exact job. They both have the same credentials, and the guy will get